It's now time for Me and My Roku with your host, Peter Clay. This could happen to you.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
More CEOs named Peter.
Peter Clay is here today.
Holy crap, it's Peter.
I've already forgotten his name.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another streamalicious and delicious episode of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Welcome aboard. Back once again to tell you all the different things I discover and find on the Roku, and then come back here and share them with you. Me show because it's what I do, how I explore things, what I find, what I discover, and then pass them along. I'm not here to dictate or preach or teach or anything like that. I just find things and say, hey, it's better off that we all know this stuff rather than I just keep it all to myself. I could do that if it was like the real me type of thing, but me as in this is what I do and share with you. I like it that way. I hope you like it as well. Hope you're enjoying it. Lots of subscribers coming through. Really appreciate it. And just if you could just spread the love and just tell another person, and we can double that and then triple and quadruple and all that stuff. And oh, wow. It'll be really special. Well, hey, I was going to almost do a bonus pop-up episode right after I did last week's show, because as soon as I pressed send to spread out into the universe, a couple of things happened right off the bat that I just talked about, and wow. So we'll get to that along with some other things. Got news, notes, and all bunch of stuff. Maybe in a couple of questions. Oh my goodness gracious. We got a lot to get to, so let's get started. Okay, so let's get started on some of these things here. Now, this is going to be a little convoluted story here, so bear with me because I'm going to try and combine a couple things into one, but we're going to get through this. So, especially if you listen to me at 1.5 speed or something like that, this could sound a little interesting, but so I'll try and be slow, and we'll get through this. Okay. Just as I hit send to send this podcast out to the universe last week, I had mentioned about Apple Airplay. So I had gotten the 9.4 upgrade on my Ultra, but not on my Roku soundbar. Well, that all changed like when I'm trying to figure some things out, and the Airplay all of a sudden was working on the Ultra, and I got the 9.4 update on the soundbar. So you're thinking, hallelujah, here we go. All's right with the world. Apple Airplay with Roku, and you can watch whatever you want. Da-da-da-da. Choirs are singing, angel music playing, all that stuff. Hold the phone. Ryan McEldowney on his streaming advisor then put it, the Apple Airplay on the Roku is a game changer. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to proceed with caution here, folks. Let's not get too excited and just think that, oh, well, anything that's not on the Roku will get everything we want now. Just remember, this is new. This is new to Roku. This is new to Apple. And anytime something's new, you got to work out a little kinks there. But the groundwork is laid. We're at the basement, folks. A lot of people want to go to the roof right away. I know I get this in the corporate world all the time. It's a results-oriented business, and everybody wants the results first, not realizing there's work to do to get those results. We always want to rush to the end and get, we want the numbers. We want our Airplay. We want it all. I'm running at about a 50% clip on how this works and all that stuff. So some fine. And when it works, it's brilliant. I mean, the quality, everything. And when it doesn't, you get a little spinning wheel and da-da-da-da-da. So I've learned some things on accident. So I'm going to tell you a story now. Bear with me how it all kind of came together now. One thing I mentioned last week is now we have CBS All Access and Showtime through Apple TV. So I have to go through Apple TV to get it. It's a whole new menu, whole new interface, all that stuff. I can't just go to the CBS All Access app and get what I want, or the Showtime app. I have to go through it. So the menu is different, and it's hard to find the shows that we like. So we had 2 shows premiere last week. We're all excited. We know we have to wait 24 hours. It's okay. We planned it out because we were busy the night they premiered anyway. Football and all that good stuff. So now we had some time before Monday Night Football, and we weren't even planning on watching it anyway because it's a dumb game. So I'm having a hard time trying to find these shows right off the bat. They don't have, like on the CBS All Access app, just new to CBS All Access, just added type of thing. That's not on the Apple version of it. It's pretty, don't get me wrong. It's nice. But I do find one of the shows, but I can't find the other one. So I said, okay, well, I'll figure it out later. So we watch the first show, and we get through it, and it's beautiful. It's fine. It looks great and everything like that. Thank you, Apple. Thank you, CBS All Access. Thank you, all that stuff. All right, so now it's time to find the next show. And I'm just doing a search, and it's like, well, they premiered the same night. Why? And it's been 24 hours. What's the deal? Why can't it? So, I don't like to usually tell you what shows we watch and all that stuff because it doesn't really matter. But in this case, it might help the story go along here. So the first show was NCIS New Orleans. Second show was NCIS Los Angeles. Okay, so we get through New Orleans and then realize it's a 2-parter and like, oh, great. If I'd known that, I would have just saved it for the next time and we can watch it out. So all good, no commercials, all great. Can't find NCIS Los Angeles. Why? I don't know. So I just do a little search, and there isn't a search function on the CBS All Access part of Apple TV's CBS All Access. So I go on Apple TV to search there, and it finds NCIS Los Angeles right off the bat, and it says on CBS, but it wants me to get the CBS app. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get double charged here now, am I? So on accident then, I hit NCIS Los Angeles, and the AirPlay pops up, and it works. And we get NCIS Los Angeles, but it's through the CBS app, not through our CBS All Access that we pay for through my Apple credits. It's okay. So we had commercials, but it was fine. It wasn't, it was Hulu-like, the commercials were short, to the point, and then on with the show. Again, quality, good through the AirPlay and all that stuff. So, on accident, Apple Airplay on the Roku saved our butts type of thing. Now, I looked at it 3 days later, and NCIS Los Angeles is now on CBS All Access on Apple TV+. But that's neither here nor there. So, like I said before, I'm running at about 50%. I've tried the ABC app, and I tried the Fox app, and I was getting squirrely little things. I tried different things, like the Food Network Kitchen app. It's a little thing I got through Amazon, and it's available on everything but the Roku. But I did that through the Apple Airplay, and it worked perfectly. ABC and Fox, not so much. Now, the trick with getting on CBS with NCIS Los Angeles was, again, on accident, I was running it through my phone, and then I accidentally hit the home button to get it off the screen. And when it went off my phone, it went to the TV. This could happen to you folks. So just be wary. Don't get so excited that, I can just AirPlay anything I want. It's a process. And you're going to find things on accident. And you're going to wonder how you did it. So know that it happened to me. It can happen to you. And if something happens, hey, I remember that idiot that on the podcast I listened to. He figured that out. Whew. Everything's fine now. So everything's on CBS All Access. I guess I just had to wait another day or two later or something like that. I don't know. I was a little impatient because when we want things, we want them. Again, we want the results. We want the ending first and get to it. So, and just a side note too, we're in the middle of a pandemic and all that stuff. The two different dynamics. This seems to be the story of my life, how art imitates life type of thing. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and there's a couple people that I've been listening to for years. And when I listen to this one person is like, I'm hiding in the attic, I'm never coming out ever again, and oh my God, we're all going to die type of thing. And I listen to another person, and he's like, wearing a mask is like, a government mandated mask is like a leading to communism type of thing. It's like, yes, you're not going to be a sports talk show host anymore. They're going to make you a bootmaker because they asked you to wear a mask. I get it. There's never any middle ground, it seems like. So in the case of the NCISs, The NCIS New Orleans went right to the pandemic right off the bat. And it made it seem, I think we've all dealt with this for long. I think we all kind of get the gist of things. And they made it seem like this was the bubonic plague. It's just like, if you got this, we all know how it works. Some people, it causes problems and death and all that stuff, and that's sad. And other people, some people can have it and not even know they had it, type of thing. Now, for dramatic purposes only, bubonic plague, everyone's going to die, type of thing. And they're going to have to find a way to it. It's a two-parter. It's a cliffhanger. Then switch to NCIS Los Angeles. They didn't mention it once. Nope, there's a Russian plane. It's missing, and it could be in American airspace, and it could kill all of us that way. So screw the pandemic. Russian missiles coming right at us. And a couple of the people own a bar, and it's like, how come there's no one at the bar? Well, it's early, Just two different extremes to these things, just like life. Anyway, I got through it and all that stuff. So, anyway, try Apple AirPlay. I would say at this point, have it as your backup. As in case of an emergency, break glass, use your Apple AirPlay. If you can get the app or something, get the app. I have not tried HBO Max yet to see if you can Apple AirPlay that to your Roku yet. I'm going through enough stuff right there. So I do have enough Apple credits to get it. But hey, Thanksgiving's coming up, and maybe I'll have some time. And maybe I'm saving them. Who knows? So, anyway, word of advice. Use with caution. It's available to you if you have a Roku Ultra or greater, or the soundbar with 9.4. So it's a 4K Roku. You can use Apple AirPlay with caution. Just remember, this is the worst that Apple AirPlay is going to be on your Roku. It's going to get better with Apple AirPlay on your Roku here on Me and My Roku. Okay, that was a little long-winded. Sorry about that. And I hope that made sense. That'll be fun to listen back to. But then if you have any questions or anything along those lines, just email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. And I can might be easier for me to write out what happened and all that stuff. But hopefully that made sense and all that good stuff. So, hey, I got some time for some questions, actually, because I actually had some actual questions that weren't, I can't connect to this. Does anyone else have problems with Pluto? I don't mean to make fun of anything along those lines. And actually, one of the questions here, let's just actually get right to it. Levita. I just want to say Levita asks if can recommend any Wi-Fi routers or the best Wi-Fi router. And I'm not going to get into the things, what's best, what's worse, and all that good stuff. Just get a new router if you've had one for more than 4 years. That can solve a lot of your connection issues and all that stuff. And then make sure it's in the best spot in the house and all that good stuff. Now, what we ended up doing was getting a mesh router. We had a Netgear for the longest time. It was a dual band router. It had a 2.4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz type of thing. So some people would confuse that with 5G type of thing, but it was just a 5 gigahertz type of thing. And that seemed to work great for the streaming services, but the 2.4 was having issues with like our phones and tablets and stuff like that. So it just became, can we get just like single band and not maybe have competing frequencies with neighbors and all that stuff? I talked to an IT guy, and he says, you're probably not going to have that type of problem, but does anyone trust their IT guy? But anyway, so we went with a mesh router, and so that we can have one in the episode. We kind of live in a quad level, about 1,600 square feet type of thing. So it's in the office upstairs for our office stuff, and so we have one up there that's hardwired, and then we have another one downstairs that can kind of shoot things upwards to everything else that do that. So that seems to be the word. So Amazon has one, Google has one, and I believe there's a thing called Orbi. Those seem to work well. So now if you have issues with either Amazon or Google, can't help you there. That's up to you. Just do your own research, do a Google search and all that stuff to find the best one along those lines. But that has been working pretty well. We're on about a month or so of doing that, and all's well in this household with that. So that's what I recommend with that. Bonnie would like to know, she would like to stream some exercise programs. New to Roku, how do I do that? Okay, I'm going to answer that two ways. First assumption I'm going to make is that you have exercise programs that you want to show and that you want to put on Roku. And so there, do a Google search, and there used to be apps that you could do where you could take your videos and upload them to this app, and they'll put them on the Roku for you. They seemed kind of sketchy and all that stuff, but they would kind of stream and all that stuff, and maybe you could get some ad revenue that way. And if that's the case, then your best bet is just YouTube. And just do that and use the YouTube app and tell your friends and share the link in emails and all that good stuff. If you're looking for exercise programs that you want to watch, then again, I just recommend YouTube. There's other ones I'm sure too, but that's the best one on the Roku. And now the question of the day that I kind of liked, and hopefully I can help. And if not, we can just send Nathan some love. Seriously, Nathan can't get Redzone on any of his Roku devices. He's on the Spectrum app, and all the channels I pay for show up on the Roku, except for the NFL Redzone. I can pull it up and watch it on my phone or tablet. Ding, ding. That is the answer. Any suggestions? Okay. So with my limited experience, because Charter, Spectrum is the brand, Charter is the business. We tried this Spectrum app one time, and from my limited understanding of this, because we tried it for like a week, and then we said, no. They give you a basic tier of channels, and then you add 10 channels to that. So you can add ESPN, you can add ESPN2, Food Network, Hallmark, all that good stuff. So see if NFL Redzone then is, since you're paying for it through Spectrum, that's something you can add to your device. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes people have the rights to do one thing and not the other. I think I mentioned this once before. There's a app, I can't remember, I think it's called Action or Grit or something, where if you see it on your antenna, on your 47-2, they can play Walker, Texas Ranger. But on the app, on the Stir app, they have to show something else, because they have the broadcast rights, but the streaming rights goes to Pluto. So here and there, the NFL Redzone, Spectrum may have the rights to have it on your phone and your tablet, but not the rights to put it on their Roku app. That might have separate deals and stuff like that, so that's where you go to your YouTube TV, Fubo, and things along of that ilk. So check that out. One, see if you have to add it to one of your 10 channels on your Spectrum app that you get, or they can't stream it. So, but there's another thing to check to see if you can, since you're getting if you have an iPhone or iPad, see if you can AirPlay it if you have a 4K. So there. Some questions that we can actually hopefully answer and hopefully helped here on Me and My Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Not too close, please. Still got a lot of things going on. But we can come a little closer. We can have a little discussion. The bandwidth for this podcast and everything that I do is brought to you by the Internet Archive, available to you at archive.org. Thank them and love them for all that they do and all that they're doing. It keeps getting greater all the time. Last week, I brought up something, and they kindly sent me an email with a little more information. This year, disinformation and misinformation have been proven to be more dangerous threats than ever before. The Internet Archive serves as a crucial resource in the fight for verifiable information by keeping a clear record of who is saying what and when. That is all available to you now on the Internet Archive, and we thank them and we love them for that. And by we, I mean me. Check it out today, archive.org, and you can get more information on that. So they have a blog on there as well. You can check out, and all my podcasts that I've ever done is all there, and a whole bunch of other information, books, and all that stuff, and verifiable information. So if something's been kind of known to be a problem and all that stuff, they will note that in a little notation on the top of the page of that. So check that out today at archive.org. A lot of things that I do here, I get through gift cards and all that stuff. And one of the things I'd like to share out there, I only mention it briefly. I just want you to check it out. I don't want to beat you over the head with anything like that, but it would help support the podcast and all that stuff if you just check out swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. And just go to that and check that out today. And help yourself out, too. Get some gift cards for yourself. Holidays coming up. Be able to share some gifts and all that stuff. And get a little something for yourself as well. Check that out today, too, at swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. That's a great resource that I use, that I get all these programs that I can share with you and all that stuff, so I can report to you and all that stuff. And then also check out the Internet Archive today and all the great stuff that's going on over there today at archive.org. Okay, some news and notes. Little updates, little things around the house here. Mentioned before, we got a new router about a month or so ago, and that's working swimmingly. We all seem to be happy, although I do have little disconnections with my laptop. But as far as the streaming devices go, all is well. Woohoo! So that's good news there. And I finally did it. If we've been paying attention to all this stuff, I had Hulu on hold, and we're doing so well with Peacock and ABC app and Fox, and now we have CBS All Access. I just pulled the plug and canceled Hulu. And it's just a break. We can always go back anytime we want. Maybe I'll get a gift card for Christmas or something like that. Or maybe I'll just get enough points and I've got enough Apple credits and I'll get a Hulu card. It can happen. So it's all right. I was kind of hoping, when I actually canceled, and they always ask you, oh, why are you leaving us? What happened? Did we do something wrong? Type of thing. I just said, hey, you know what? I'll probably be back. And they said, oh, okay. So sometimes they say, hey, we'll give you an extra month if you stay. So you never know until you try. And since they didn't offer me anything, I just said, farewell for now. Arrivederci. Something like that. So, goodbye is not forever. Sometimes. So, looking for surefire way to get HBO Max on your Roku. There's no app yet or anything like that. And we're 50-50 on the AirPlay. Well, are you in luck? You can get HBO Max on your Roku. Sure. HBO Max shows will air on Thanksgiving weekend on TNT, TBS, and True TV. So you get to preview some of the things that you've been missing. And if you get a Roku service like YouTube TV or something like that, anything that gets those three channels, you can get HBO Max shows on your Roku. Woo-hoo. It's that funny time of the year where quarterly results come out and all that good stuff, and everyone from Pluto, Philo, Tubi, Fubo, and Roku, all setting records for subscribers and active users and all that good stuff. So I don't think there's a pandemic going on or something like that. My goodness. So everyone's setting records in that. Netflix, but they're just Netflix and they'll always be there. Meanwhile, though, Sinclair, TV station and stuff like that, they lost $4.8 billion last quarter. So they still have stir, so they got that going for them. Hamilton is the most streamed original movie for 2020. Or should I say, shocker of the century there. And we still have 2 more months to go, so something could come up and catch it maybe. We'll see if it's that same for 2021. We'll have to see. And also, Black Friday deals already out there. Check them out. You're seeing Roku Ultras, and I don't know if it's last year's model because some new Ultras just came out. So we're seeing half price out there. We're seeing somewhere in the $48.99, even $79.99. So about half price on some of those things. So I don't need one, but I almost need to feel that I need to get one on principle type of thing. So that's the news and notes of all the things going on here in this household. All stuff. Thank you for joining us. I should get back to my Roku because I'm getting a little itchy, a little twitchy. It's all good though. But thanks for joining me and all that stuff. Also, thanks to archive.org for everything that they do. And check them out today at archive.org. Thank them for providing the bandwidth of this podcast and all the podcasts I've done since 2005. If you need more updates in anything that I do or just want to see my picture and all that stuff, check it out today at meandmyroku.com. And once again, the holidays are here. Before you know it, Christmas music is always already playing on radio stations and obviously Christmas stuff in some of the stores and all that stuff. So check it out. So if you need something for yourself there, check it out today. swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. That's how one of the ways I get gift cards to get the programs. Check it out for yourself. I'm not going to twist your arm. It just helps the program a lot, all that stuff. It'll help me feed my cats and all that stuff. But hey, it's okay. No pressure whatsoever. You can really help the show by subscribing. And you may subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on many fine podcast platforms. Here they are. I have a list. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Ghana, JioSaavn, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartMedia, Podbean, Pandora, and Radio.com. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction and on Instagram at Pierre Argyle. I class it up a little bit on Instagram. And if you need more questions, comments, a little one-on-one talk or anything along those lines, email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Hey, I hope you are enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.